Live stream! I have so many cells I need to process. My furnace is running, so there's probably going to be a lot of background noise. Can't help it. I'm going to be processing cells, and I figured I might as well do a live stream because I'm going to be doing it anyway. Whatever. For those that do tune in, thank you. Hey! Hello! I got my new buddies up here. They're googly eyes. How's everybody doing? Should be able to switch to 1080p now. I think last time I only was doing 720, but I figured this time I'll try out 1080. Why not? I have gloves. I'm not going to shred up my hands. Learned that on my very first live stream. I want to show you guys, I have a bunch of cells that I processed. I kind of just want to show off where I'm at. I've received a bunch of cell holders. Got a whole bunch of these. I have fuses. Woohoo! What else do I got? Oh, I've set up a Patreon page. That's in the description of the video, if anybody cares. I'd like to use my Patreon money, if I do get any, to buy more Opus chargers, because with the amount of cells that I have to process, it's just going to take forever. I haven't even made a dent. It's a snowy day today. I'm not making much power. My wife's peeking around the corner. What?
Okay.
Yeah, should be able to. It's just a multimedia message. It'd probably automatically download it in the background. Fire in the back, yeah. I'm down in the basement, and it's a little bit cooler down here. I've been actually sealing up some of the drafty parts because I've been spending more time down here. And it's the weirdest thing. Playing the fireplace does something mentally, and you just feel warmer. So, whatever. I've been trying to do all Samsung cells. I don't know if you can see that or not. The light's kind of harsh down here. I don't like the Sanyos. Even the ones with the white tops, they seem like they're better. They are better. But I just don't trust them. I've had so many issues when I test the Sanyos that I want to try to do as many Samsung cells as I can on my Powerwall. I think they're just going to be more reliable. I can actually show you guys outside my IP cameras real quick. Give me a second to pull them up. Whoa, focus. Focus. There we go. All right. Second monitor, go. Oh, I messed up the... Let's see here. I'll pull up my IP cameras real quick. Bye. See, I'm only pulling in about 54 watts. This kilowatt down at the bottom here, that's what's actually going into the AC line. I just have a cheap Chinese inverter right now. This is a temporary setup. I wanted to utilize some of the panels that I have instead of them just sitting in there while I build my power wall. But here is what it looks like outside. You can see it's not a good day, but I'm actually kind of impressed with how much they're making, considering that the fact that they're covered in snow. There's no sun out. It's very, very cloudy. I'm actually very happy with these panels. Let's go back to the cozy fireplace. And as Peter would say, transition. It's cool to see that there's a decent amount of people in the stream. My last streams have been pretty dormant, but I figured I'm doing this anyway. Might as well. People hang out. People hang out. If not, I'm just talking to myself. And my wife's back. Weird. Maybe reboot your phone. It could be a problem with like a cell tower or something too.
I've just never had it.
Mine's not doing it. So
You want her to send it or something?
yeah, I'm sending you all kinds of stuff. These are HP laptop. No, actually, these came out of netbooks. These came out of these stupid netbooks that we had at the school. I work for a school district. I'm the main network guy, server guy. Anyway, these came out of netbooks. The netbooks were garbage. So most of these netbooks sat in a laptop cart or netbook cart, and they just sat there and they charged. They rarely were used, so most of these cells are good because they were always topped off and they're just sitting there. Ow. Wish they all did that. But once a week, I have to come down here, crack open a whole bunch of cells. Usually if I fill in the 2 banks on my cardboard holder, to be processed cardboard holder, if I fill up 2 of the banks in there, I have enough to process during the week and test capacities. I'm down to probably about 10 of them in there right now, and I did it last weekend around the same time, so it's a once a week thing. It's not too bad. If I had more opuses, no, she didn't bring me snacks. I wish she did. I like snacks. If I had more opuses, I'd probably actually do 3 banks or whatever. Try to keep a weekly supply in there to process. The furnace is turning off, so it won't be so noisy. Either I'm getting stronger or I'm learning what I'm doing. That was sweet. Samsung cells. Okay. The blue ones, I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, but I don't get much capacity out of them. They're nice and cool. They don't heat up. So I'm trying to do as many of the light purple ones that I have. I did my first batch of Samsungs were green, and I got pretty much every single cell was in the 2100s. It was fantastic. I don't think I have any more laptop packs that are with the green cells. I don't know. I have three tubs full of laptop packs, 2 boxes full of laptop packs. I probably have, I don't know, 300-400 that I haven't even touched. Chromebooks, yeah. We had, okay, the first batch of Chromebooks we had were pretty much garbage. They were made by Acer. They were just a garbage device. Nobody used them, and they're sitting in a box somewhere. I might try to see if I can recycle them, aka take the battery packs and send the units off for true recycling. But we actually have Lenovo Chromebooks now that are actually pretty decent. They use the crap out of them. Where the Samsung, actually I'll grab one. I'll show you. Samsungs. I'll show off my process cells in a little bit, but each one of these holds about 40 cells, and as you can see, or if you can see, practically all but 2 of the 40 are green Samsungs. I'll see if the camera will focus on that. That's actually a very good cell. I've 2100 milliamps hours out of them. I've had some pretty darn good luck with them. I wish I had more packs with them. I might. I just haven't gone through all the tubs. I figured for now, these light purple, or whatever color you want to call it, Samsungs, they're anywhere from 1900 to 2000. They're doing pretty decent. It's not too bad. I can't get picky. Every single cell that I have has been free, so I am not complaining. Even if I have to make Sanyo packs, I'm hoping if everything goes to plan, I can do 14 in series, 14 or 15 in series. My inverter actually can handle probably 15 in series pretty easily. I'll probably actually do 15, but I'm going to do 15S 140p. So that should actually give me a pretty decent power bank. And if I can get that all Samsung, that means I have a ton of Sanyos. And then I might make another bank and then parallel them together. And just see the difference between the Sanyos versus the Samsungs. That would be the ideal situation. I really like that idea. We'll see if I have enough cells to do it. Are there ones there that are 28A or B? These light purple ones are the 28A. The green ones are the green ones are 22F. Well, that's what they end with. I didn't read off the whole model number. I'm going to actually, with my live streams before, I kind of just had them at random times because I was starting out the channel. I was trying to get the camera settings right. I think I have it pretty much dialed in quality-wise. I'm thinking that every Saturday around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm thinking right around there will be a good consistent live stream. I may actually do random ones still, but I think having a consistent time would be nice as well. Okay, my solar array. The panels I have are Canadian Solar. They're 36 volts, 315 watts per panel. I actually got them for $100 a panel. I had to drive and go get them, which I don't care because they're great. These, according to the seller, they're still under manufacturer warranty. I haven't verified that, and honestly, with how much output I get out of them, I'm probably just want to leave it as is and take the word for it. But I got 10 of them, and I plan on putting them all up on my shop. Now, my shop, I've posted a couple pictures here and there, and actually I could show you on the IP camera. There's a lot of trees around it. I am going to use my bucket truck, which I could show you that on the IP camera as well, to top off the trees to basically clear a good amount of sun. My wife's down here again. She didn't bring me snacks.
Lunch is ready.
Lunch? Woohoo! I'm going to clear the top off the trees and clear enough sunlight during the day that I should be able to make a pretty decent amount. With 4 panels up on my shop right now, they're all paralleled together. Even in the winter months, I'm getting about 1 to 2 kilowatt hours out of them, which is not a lot. I understand that. But I just slapped them up there. They're not optimized in any way. When I actually do my power wall and get everything up there, I'm going to actually build a mounting system that gets a little bit better sunlight. Right now they're only facing east, and I'll actually have them facing east and west. I can't really face them south because it'd just be a huge pain in the butt. I probably could. The other thought is making a do-it-yourself tracker. Since it's out in my shop, I could bring down, a pole or whatever to hold the weight or whatever, and do a tracker that tracks the sun. That'd be really cool. I don't know if I have the money for it. I kind of want to get this up and running first. Kind of like why I bought a cheap Chinese inverter, so my panels are actually producing something versus sitting in the shed doing nothing. Hold on, I'm going to catch up on the chat real quick. Keith, yeah, the 28As, these are coming out of the HPs. These were the netbooks. Like I said, they mostly stayed plugged into the cart. But they're 7 years old. Manufacturing date is 2010. And it looks like June of 2010. So I'm not really complaining. Plus, like I said, free. They were all free. Oh, shirts. I got this shirt, which is, caution. I have no idea what I'm doing, which for the most part is true. I'm learning as I go. I also got, and you've probably seen this on my other videos, YouTube shirt. Cool. I do have an 18650 shirt on the way. No idea when I'll receive it. It was kind of pricey, to be honest. It was like $30, but whatever. Okay, so out in my shop, the one thing I've been thinking about is how the heck am I going to put these either on the wall or put them on shelving units. Shelving units was my original thought. There's a local hardware store, Menards. Like, oh, Menards, oh. No. They carry these plastic shelves that are fairly durable for the price. You can get them on sale for about $25. And each shelf says it can hold, I think it's like 500 pounds. I would probably never put 500 pounds on it. But if I make the 140p packs, they weigh around 17 pounds. And I can put 2 per shelf. That was my original plan. I'm going to use Anderson connectors, just like Average Joe did. I like the fact that they quickly connect, quickly disconnect. I really like that. My other thought was, since it does get kind of cold out in my shop, not super cold, I want to be able to insulate it. So having 2 shelves side by side and all my my cells and power packs on there, I could probably just put insulation board around it during the winter months and keep it pretty warm. I did build a Raspberry Pi to keep track of temperature and humidity for another project that I did. I could probably just put that in one of the shelves and monitor it that way. So that's one idea, and I'm not tossing it out the window yet, but I've been seeing you guys post these awesome power walls. You know, it's an actual wall where they're mounted on the wall. You can see them all. That would be sweet. It's a metal building. I can easily put up something to mount them on. The problem is, you know, Peter has them really cool holders. I don't think his packs were 140p, so I would have to go with something custom. Or there was a guy on the Facebook group that was using, I think he called it DIN rail. Basically, you mount breakers to it or whatever, just a thin piece of metal like that. And he had this plastic clip that clipped onto that, and he put his pack on it. That's really, really cool. I would probably need 2 of them clips per pack. I would have to find somebody to make them for me because I don't have a 3D printer. The school has a 3D printer, but it's a really, really old one, and I don't think that the stuff that comes out of it is durable. So I'd want something fairly durable. So that's kind of my ideal. If I could get them mounted on the wall, that would be sweet. I could just insulate the wall before they're mounted, and then kind of just go from there on what I need to do to insulate them. And that would be really cool, you know, to see it and everything. The shelf, you would see the fronts of them, and if I only went so high with them, you could see them, but it wouldn't be as cool. And I'm putting a lot of time into it, so I kind of want it to be cool. Plus, I want bragging rights on the Facebook group, right? I think I'm going to have to shuck a couple more of these. But for right now, I am going to take off the gloves and clean these up and see where I'm at. Snippies. I got a trash box here. Gotta clean up my mess on the shelf. So there's the idea for holding the, well, ideas for holding the shelves. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I may start off with the shelves because then it's cheap. I can get it up and running fairly quickly. And then I could always go to a wall type setup afterwards once I get the funds and once I figure out where to get it made. But hopefully, by the time I find some place to get it made, maybe I have my cells processed by then. I don't know. Right now, I'm just processing cells. I actually have enough cells to build a few packs, but I kind of want to hold off to see. Once I get enough to build, you know, the 15 packs, I kind of want to hold off to see where I'm at capacity-wise, like average capacity-wise, and then I can go from there to see if I need to make more or not. Maker space near you. Like, is Makerspace a company? Is that a, or just, is that a search term? I'm kind of new to the 3D printer stuff. I don't really know what to look for, what to search for. I live in an area where there's not really much. We're lucky to have a Walmart, Menards, and a Lowe's. That's really all we have, and I just spit everywhere. Oh, I need to take a drink. Dirt. All them is talking. Blah blah blah. So yeah, I may start off with the good old-fashioned shelves, just to get it done, and then move to something more fancy afterwards. Just like my temporary solar setup. Get it functional, get it working, benefit from it, and then afterwards, make it cooler. Like I posted a time lapse of the frost melting off my panels on Reddit, and I posted it to the Facebook group as well. But when I posted it on Reddit, they destroyed me. They were super harsh. And I kind of knew that posting it on Reddit was kind of a stupid idea because it's a test setup. I really don't care what it produces because it's producing something. I took some treated 2x4s, tossed them up there, put the panels up there, and just said, woohoo, I'm making power. In the summer months, I was making, probably 3 to 4 kilowatts a day, which is not a super amount. I understand that. But considering I just tossed them up there, utilizing wood that I had on hand, and I was making some power out of 4 panels, I was ecstatic. They're not collecting dust like the rest of them in my shop. I debated the idea of buying another cheap inverter and doing it that way, but then I decided not to. I don't want to invest too much money in a temporary setup because the inverter was really the only thing that I purchased. Everything else I had on hand. I already had the wires, already had the panels. I already had the circuit breaker box, which is actually pretty cool because it has protection against surges, has protection against the power can only flow one way. I forget what the heck that was, but it can't come back. It can only come in from the panel. Each panel is fused separately and then has that protection separately. And then there's a master breaker before it goes to my inverter. This is all a very temporary setup, but I'm making power. I've cut $40, well, with other improvements around my house, I've $30, $40 a month off of my power bill because of it. I actually have a home lab. Okay, so what that is I have a bunch of servers right behind the camera. I can actually, after I get done doing this, I could show you guys real quick. I have servers that run all the time. I have IP cameras on one of the servers. I run a couple game servers because I have my own fiber line because I started up a wireless internet service in my area. So I run game servers, I run, this, that, and the other, and plus I have a file server, 24 terabytes of storage, and my plan is, when I get my main power bank up, and I get my my off-grid inverter, because I'm going to do it all off-grid. The grid tie stuff is just too expensive. So I'm going to do off-grid. I'm going to bring, there's already a line, a 220 line that runs out to my shop. And that 220 line runs my well. So I'd like to put my well off grid, and then bring that 220 line, use that to bring power into a separate circuit breaker. And then from that circuit breaker, the first thing I'm going to put on it is my home lab. Now, the reason for that is I use power efficient servers, but they're on 24/7, so there's a constant draw there. There's a constant usage. Now, if I put my my home lab on, you know, off-grid circuit or whatever, then I can slowly add additional items to it. But for now, and I might do like lighting down in the basement, lighting upstairs, little things, because if the power goes out, I'd like to have my lighting on battery. My fridge definitely will be on battery. My freezer, I have a deep freezer down here. It's fairly energy efficient, but I think putting the items like that on there, something that constantly runs, will bring my power bill down significantly. And not only bring my power bill down, it will, you know, I don't have to depend on the power company. I live out in the country. Power goes out, you know, at least a couple of times a year, at least. And my neighbor was saying that the one time the power went out and they were out for 2 weeks. And considering I run my own wireless company, I don't really want to be down for 2 weeks. I do have, kind of off topic, my wireless company is at a farmer. He owns a silo. He has a gas generator, so I do have something to keep that up. But with that said, I've actually used my house as a relay for some of my customers because they did not have line of sight to the silo. And my house is a 2-story house, and I have line of sight to them. So long story short, my house is a relay. I do have some services that come off of my home lab. Not a lot. I've moved a lot of it to its own server that's hosted in a better area. But I'd like to keep that up, so if I do have no power, they're up and running too. Now the antennas that I use and everything, they take up, I think it's like 10 watts. So keeping them up and running is pretty easy. I guess that's why we're all doing this, you know. You know, recycle, save the planet a little bit. You know, getting off grid, getting off the coal factory that's producing my power. That, and it's winter. What else am I going to be doing? I can't do installs right now. Well, I can on some days. My bucket truck, if I have to use my bucket truck for an install, these cold days, it does not like it. I've done one so far, and literally the hydraulics took about half an hour, 45 minutes to warm up before they would move quickly. They were moving, but really, really slow. And I just didn't want to. I didn't want to harm the lines or anything. In fact, I'll switch over to my. Show you real quick my bucket truck and everything. Transition. You can see, look, I'm making a whole 25 watts. Woohoo! In my opinion, I'm powering some lights. You know, I'm powering some chargers or something for tablets or something. Every little bit helps. there's my bucket truck. It's a 1984. It's an old unit. It does what it needs to do. It's just old and slow. I didn't pay much for it. And honestly, I don't know a lot about diesel because it's a diesel. But I figured this would be a way to learn. It's going to need maintenance and things. And I may do videos on that as well. Because my channel is going to be a little bit of everything. Right now I'm focused on the batteries, but I will have just, you know, in general, randomness. But there's my bucket truck. In the winter months, I can't really use it. You know, it works. I just don't want to stress it out too much, if that makes sense. I don't want to break it. You know, it's kind of one of them things. So, what the hell are we listening to? I picked a random channel to listen to that's YouTube approved. I can't help some of the music that comes on, but I can. Let's just pause that for a minute. I don't want to listen to that. So you could see, hopefully you can see my mouse pointer. I've topped some of these trees here. You can kind of see the debris down here on the ground. I plan on topping all the trees there. In fact, this one tree actually overhangs out on the road. I need to clean that up anyway. This tree right here, I'm going to top off. It had a lot of branches that were in the way. I'm going to top that one off. And probably pretty much remove it. There's a lot of trees on the other side of the shop that they're really, really close to the building. In fact, they're like right up against it. In fact, the one right here that you can see, hopefully you can see my mouse pointer, otherwise you have no idea what I'm talking about. This one right here is right up against the building. And there's a lot of them on the other side of the building that are like that. I'm probably just going to cut them down because the concrete floor in there is just completely destroyed. There's so many roots that are just destroying the concrete. And I figured since they have to come down, it's just going to help my solar anyway. I eventually would like to redo the floor in there. It's not a project that's on the radar right now, but eventually. So yeah, I'm not making much power. It's, you know, it's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been a very cloudy day, but I've made 2 kilowatt hours today on this day that is snowy and cloudy, no sun in sight. I'm not really complaining about that. We'll switch back. And transition. Gotta go. I was told there's a parking ban. Well, that sucks. Well, good luck to you. For anybody that is still hanging around, thanks for checking out my live stream. I don't really have a lot going on other than processing cells. And if somebody hangs out, talks to me while I'm doing it, cool. If not, oh well. And maybe I can entertain you guys, answer some questions, even though I don't have a lot of answers. I want a bathroom system so bad. That's one of them things that I know in the long run that the BMS that I'm going to pick is going to be the Batrium. Oh, I'm so jealous of Peter's setup and everybody by now that has it. And honestly, if you're spending this much time on something, you should have a good, proper management system. The price tag, though, that is some sticker shock right there. Not saying that it's not worth it. I really think it's worth it, but wow, for somebody like me, that's a decent amount of money. I'm still trying to break even on my investments on my wireless company, which I'm the first year that I've been up and operational. I'm very, very close to making that self-sufficient, which is awesome. I'm very happy with that. Plus, I have a fiber line. I might mention that a lot because I really like having a fast, stable internet connection. The people around me have liked it as well, so we all benefit from it. It's pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to have enough cells, but it's a good start. My wife came down here a while ago and told me lunch was ready. Whoops. I gotta get this done. I'm a YouTube pro. I gotta stay and keep people entertained. Actually, I'm gonna clean off my hair. I think we're sending this stuff to the Facebook group is sending the 10 and stuff to somebody. I'm still gathering up all mine. I don't know what the plan is with that, but I'm gathering it. Uh-oh. Wife's coming back down. What?
You're supposed to be eating.
Food.
Cold food. I can't get pictures in my text messages.
Oh. Hi, Lily.
I tried rebooting. And then I asked my sister to send it to me. I asked her if she sent me anything. She was like, no. Well, I'm trying to download 6 pictures from you, and then I tried to send her a screenshot, and it won't send her the screenshot.
Hold on. There you go. My daughter likes to play with the little Anderson connector that I showed you guys earlier. She likes playing with it when she comes down here to visit me. So one of the first things she picks up, she just walks around with it. She's adorable. What did you make for lunch?
Hot dogs, mac and cheese, and carrots.
Ooh, lunch of champions.
Hi.
Honestly, since we went to Cricket, I might have to check them settings to make sure that they didn't revert back or anything.
I did just have an update.
Okay.
Yesterday.
So I may have to just check that. Hi, sweetie.
So like in advanced or something? Or?
Huh? Oh, I forget where it is off the top of my head. Processing cells is so much fun.
What are you doing?
No, stay out of there, please. Stay out of there.
No, I'll put it back.
No.
Put it back.
I mean, this is just plastic, so it's not like I'm... Sounds like the boys are having fun. Oh, let's see if there's better music now that we paused that for a while. Yeah. Sounds like it's going to switch a song, so it might be pretty decent afterwards. How long have I been live?
Well, I told you it was time to eat about 30 minutes ago.
Oh, I haven't even been live for an hour yet. Still got plenty of time.
Because everybody wants to watch you for an hour every single time. Huh.
What's that supposed to
be? Lily! No. 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 Yeah, you can chop your fingers off. Get out of there. Let's go upstairs. Come on.
All right. So we've talked about battery management. That's not a live view.
I know. Are you gonna have this random hand messing up your stuff?
Random voice and random hand. They have no idea. It's not like I told them it's my wife and my daughter.
We're superstars.
Superstars. YouTube pros.
Yeah.
Inverter. Okay, so inverter, I'm thinking that I'm going to go with, like I said before, off-grid system. I think I'm going to go with the, I think it's pronounced Ames. I think that's how it's pronounced. They seem like they're the best inverter for the price. Not saying they're the best at all, but for the price, I think they make a pretty good unit. Plus, I think it will have enough power to run my my well pump and my my home lab. My home lab doesn't really take up much. It's probably, well, in its current state, it's probably about 200 watts total. That's including all the hard drives for the storage, all of the networking equipment, servers, and everything. But once I do get my home lab off grid, I can actually turn on another server and actually have more more processing power for more test environments. Looking forward to that. And I can do more videos because I'll have more server hardware at my disposal to do that. I better put this on so I can see if anybody's chatted to me. Oh, nothing right now. Doing good. I was caught up on chat. Like I was monitoring the whole time. So in the U.S., and this has been touched a couple of times, I think I brought it up once, the inverters are just so much more expensive because we have 220 split phase. It's frustrating because I see great inverters, but they're not 220 split phase, and once you get into 220 split phase, the price skyrockets. For something that you can get for $800 that's not split phase. If you get a split phase version of that, it's $2,000 almost, $1,500. That's just Frustrating. Oh well. I'll get over it. That's why buying the BMS is like, I know I need it, but I can take that, you know, money and put it towards a better inverter, but Batrium, send me a BMS. Maybe when I'm a little bit more popular YouTuber or something, I can get something. Doubtful. Anyway, hopes and dreams. The Ames inverter I want to get, I think, is 8,000 watts continuous, and I think it peaks at either 10,000 watts or 12,000 watts. I can't remember, but it has a peak on it, and the reason why I would like that to have that good peak on it is when the well pump kicks on. I have no idea what the specs are on my well pump. Without pulling it up out of the well, I really don't know what it I really don't want to pull it up out of the well if I don't have to. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather, you know, have that the first thing on the inverter. And if that's the only thing on the inverter, I can monitor it for a day or so. And then I'll know what it is. I believe the Ames inverters have some type of software or monitoring I can do. My monitoring right now is a webcam on my cheap Chinese inverter. I'll find a way to monitor it. But that to me sounds like a better idea. You just buy a bigger inverter, put it on there, and worst case scenario, I keep only the well pump on that inverter, or buy an inverter just for the well pump, and then use another inverter for my home lab, my servers. We'll see. I think I'm gonna have to process cells for probably, my estimate so far has been for about 2 months. Hopefully I can make cooler videos of me building packs and stuff like that. Once I know what my average pack capacity is going to be, that's going to be a little bit easier, because then I can just shoot for a capacity around there. Scoot these over. But yeah, I think I'll get the shelving units for now. Well, once I start building the packs, I'll get the shelving units. Probably get the BMS. Oh, what I haven't discussed, charge controller. I really like the what's it called? Midnight Classic. That's made by Outback, I believe. They seem like they're very good. They're a little bit more money, but I think I'm going to use a Midnight Classic for my charge controller to charge the battery bank. They seem like they're pretty good at accepting a wide range of voltages. They have a nice 48 volt unit, so that would work for my setup. And then I could use the Ames inverter, and then after that, my furnace just kicked on. Forewarning. Once I have the Ames inverter, test my well on it, see what I'm doing there. If all turns out well with that, then I can add my home lamp to it. My power bill. runs around $300 a month. And I think a lot of that is just the continuous items that I have. I actually have a Sense monitor. Sense is the brand, and it's a device with 2 CT clamps with a nice smartphone app, and I've been monitoring my power usage with that. And I think just the continuous, always-on devices, which is always around, 1 kilowatt. That adds up, just that alone, you have 24 kilowatt hours per day. So the more I take off that system, or the continuous power, the better. I know Peter's running like his ACs and stuff like that. I'm a long ways away, but with the amount of cells that I have, I might be able to make a couple banks, parallel them together, and I might be to the same point where I can run stuff like that. My power bill normally drops about $100 a month. Well, close. Going from the summer months to the winter months, so I know running the ACs would be very cool. So that's very cool. Let's see if there's anything in the chat I need to catch up on. Oh, using a generator and mains changeover switch. Yeah, that's crazy. Pure sine wave. Yeah. That is a big deal, especially since I'm running my my servers and everything. I do have an APC battery backup right now, so if it's not a perfect sine wave, it kind of corrects it for the servers. But when it's doing that, it actually drains the battery. I know that because when I was at work, our generator was on the fritz, and the sine wave that it was generating was just, it wasn't 60 hertz. It wasn't clean, and it freaked out all of our battery backups. And by freak out, I mean they were correcting for the sine wave being irrational, or not irrational, irregular, and they drained the batteries and it shut down a lot of stuff. That's why we have to replace the generator at work. So having a pure sine wave is, and a clean sine wave, is pretty significant. I'm hoping that, I believe somebody in the group has bought an Ames inverter, and I'm hoping they post some pictures or a review or something along the lines, because I really would like to get that inverter, because the amount of power for the price is very, very appealing. But if it's not putting out a clean sine wave, I'm going to have to find a different one. And I might have to go with either like an Outback Solar, or I would hate to buy a Chinese inverter and do single phase. I mean, I can. I do know how to utilize that just for like my home lab and stuff, but I wouldn't be able to run my well pump off of a single phase. I need that split phase for my well pump. And that, my well pump would be nice to have if the power's out, Water's essential. if I can get my fridge, well, my furnace, it's running right now. It actually doesn't use that much. Let me see what it, well, I mean, that much, considering it for what it does. Yeah, the furnace is running 713 watts right now. Let me see if I can focus on that. So it doesn't use a lot. I think I could do that with pretty much any inverter. So if I could get my furnace, my well, fridge, freezer, some lighting. Everything in the house is LED, including this light right here. It's all LED. So running the lights is nothing. For everything else, the kids could live without the TV. You know, the computers won't be on, except for my home lab. But there's essential stuff on that. You know, that would be pretty sweet. I know that my neighbor actually. Eventually, he wants me to set up a system for him. And obviously, I'm not going to process cells for 3 months for him. I'm actually going to probably have him look into buying either Chevy Volt battery packs or something like that. Quickly get a system up and running for him. When he gets to that point, he's actually building a shop. He has a lot more money on hand than I do, so I'll probably have him just buy something like some low mileage battery packs from some kind of electric vehicle that's been wrecked or something like that. Get some smaller inverters for the future so you can increase your efficiency depending on the load. Yeah. I could start off with like a single phase. I do have, so my shop has 220 out there, so I can use one of the legs on the 220 to bring it back into the house. And that would run all the lights out in the shop, so that would be fairly easy to do. The only thing I wouldn't be able to do with the shop is if I do get an air compressor or something, I won't be able to run it off of that. Most air compressors that are worth a darn are, at least here in the US, are 220. So I could start off with smaller inverter, use it for a while, and then slowly step it up, slowly work my way up. That actually might be a good idea. I don't know if the Ames inverters can parallel or synchronize with each other. That would be really cool. This way, when you add more, they just synchronize together. I would have to look into that. I don't think they can. That would be really sweet, because then I could just buy another one when I need it. Start off small and work my way up. Yeah, so in the US, the kicker's the split phase. I wish it wasn't. I understand why we do it. It makes sense for what we did, but it is what it is. Can't change it. You know, when I first started looking into doing solar and all this and running equipment off of it, it wasn't until then that I realized how many appliances take AC and all they do is convert it back down to DC. That is crazy. You know, you think about it, and okay, there are a lot of things that are pure AC as well, but like your fridge, even modern fridges, most of the time they convert it from AC back to DC. I wonder if you could just chop open the control panel on that, not chop open, but like open up the control panel on that, find what it's operating at, and toss it on the DC side. I mean, obviously you'd have to match it up, but to whatever it required, but that would be kind of sweet. Instantly void the warranty. By the way, I'm not recommending that. I'm just saying it'd be more efficient. Way more efficient. Having the loss of the conversion. And my fridge is pretty darn efficient. It uses about 100 watts. Yeah, I could make separate circuits for separate plugs with separate inverters. That's true. The problem I have with that is I only have certain lines coming from my shop to my house. So I kind of have to be careful. Like, I could put a separate inverter for the well pump. I could put a separate inverter for everything in the shop. But when it comes to bringing it back to the house and running my fridge and my home lab and my freezer and stuff, I'd like to bring that over in just a 220 line. And then I can just have a separate breaker box and go from there. I would rather not have to run multiple lines out there or whatever. We'll see. And if you buy a big enough 220 split phase inverter, you know, you may not need anymore. But absolutely, for the well pump, I could just, you know, buy an inverter just for that. That may not be a bad idea. You never know, I might end up doing that. The fact that my shop is going to be my location, and the reason for that is it's a metal building. If something, damn spider trying to attack me. If something were to happen, you know, it's 100 and some foot away from the house. There's nothing in that shop that is very flammable. Now, I do bring in my truck or whatever every once in a while and do maintenance on it, but I pull it in, like, the front of the shop is here, and where I work on the vehicles is way back. That shop is probably 300 foot long. So I could have a good separation between, and it's not like I run the vehicle in there for long. I pull it in, I shut it off. change the oil, look at the brakes, and then pull it back out. It's not like I keep it running in there or anything. So the shop is separated from the house. I will have, you know, fire extinguishers and all that available in the shop, but if something were to happen, it's not my house. And that's why I'm using the shop, and that's why I have the downfall of, you know, whatever wires I run from the shop to the house is what I'm going to have to use, what's already there. Luckily, there's a 220 line, so I should be able to use that. If I'm talking in circles, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to answer the questions as they pop up. Hopefully soon. I get to the point where I can start building packs. I know I said that earlier, but it seems like testing cells and processing cells, it's never going to end. And once I get my first pack up and running and functional, I think I wouldn't mind processing cells so much. It's the anxiety and the excitement of getting that first pack up and getting something functional. Oh, let's go. I want to get this done. You know. But if I had the money to buy batteries and get it going quicker, I would. You know, trying to save money, trying to make myself more efficient, less dependent on the grid. Woohoo! Looks like them are all the cells. Now what I do now is I just have to clean the tops and the bottoms of them up before I put them in my to be tested box, because I come down here in the morning and it's like 5:30 in the morning or whatever, and I just take them, I put them in the Opus chargers, set the current to 1 amp, and I walk away and I go to work. I don't want to slice up my hands or whatever before I go to work, so I kind of just, you know, why am I starting down there? I kind of clean them up, put them in the box. This way I can just grab them, toss them, go. It'd be nice to have this box filled up again. Gives me a good week of cells to process. And actually, once I get the table cleaned off here, I can show you everything I've done cell-wise. I'm getting to the point where I have enough for, I think, 3 packs right now. That is I think that's what I'm at. I don't remember. After Christmas is done and everything, I'm going to actually probably buy another Opus. Right now I have 3, which 3 is great. But I would like to get around, to be honest, I'd probably like to have 10. That would make a hell of a lot faster testing capacities, that's for sure. This way I can make the cool videos. Get that power wall up. Start saving that money. I'm so excited. Saving, let's say if I save $150 a month on my power bill, and the fact that that $150 a month is not only going in my pocket, but everything that's connected to that system is now completely off grid. Completely run, no grid. That is sweet. You know, if anybody ever buys the house, they'll probably scratch their head and wonder what the hell Frankenstein setup this is, but I don't plan on selling the house anytime soon. Plus, with the off-grid system, you don't have to worry about inspections or anything like that. Well, you still want to do things right. That's not what I'm saying. A grid tie system is highly regulated, and they're very picky about how things are. Going off grid, they can't really do much. They can't complain. Well, at least in my area, they have no real rhyme or reason, or no real jurisdiction over you. You just do it and be done with it. Power company might call me up and say, "Why aren't you using so much power anymore? Come back, we miss you." That would be sweet. Let's see here. For HP Powerwall, it doesn't end that often. Yeah, that's true. Always overestimate. Like, you think you're going to use this much, just overestimate it, double it. I think that's a very wise tip. Because, like, let's say I do lose power. Now, granted, the times I've lost power here, I've only lost it maybe for, half an hour, an hour. But let's say, like my neighbor told me, they lost power here for quite some time. If that happens again, your system not only has to keep you up and running for normal periods of time, but you have to calculate what if the worst scenario is you lose power, and the reason why you lost power is because it's storming, and you're not generating that much power. If you have enough storage capacity, you can stay up and running for a week or whatever. Now, granted, as the week goes on or whatever, and you slowly start depleting your system, you may have to turn certain things off, but you can at least keep the essentials up for a long period of time. Basically, just like Mike here said, just double what you think you need, at least. Well, I'm hoping with the system that I'm building that I have enough to run for a couple of days with no solar generation. And again, I won't know that until I build my first set of packs and I know how much I have left over. I can have a good feel, a good gauge of where I'm going to be capacity-wise once I get done processing all of this. It might be sometime down the road, but if I can run for a couple of days without solar generation, that'd be sweet. Even if it's only one day without solar generation. If there's something that went on that we didn't have grid power or whatever, and we could only last one day, I could turn off things and make that one day last even longer. Oh, another thing I want on my off-grid is my sump pump. Right now, if it's storming or whatever, and we go offline, off the grid, you know, I have a generator, but I gotta pull the generator out. I gotta run the cords down here. I gotta have light to run the cords. You know, if I put that on my battery system, I don't have to worry about all that. And if there's a giant storm coming through and we lose power for a day, I had lights, I had a refrigerator, my sump pump, everything was functional throughout that whole period of time. I think that's pretty darn sweet. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. Hope you guys are processing cells like I am. For those that are working on their system, and for those that already have their system up and functional, like Peter. DIY Tech and Repair and his massive system. Still working on mine. It's going to be a while. But eventually I'll get to your guys' level. Maybe. I think the Facebook group's pretty cool. I use the forums. I kind of just lurk in the forums, reading stuff. I don't know why, but on the Facebook group, I tend to post more and talk more and ask questions more. Maybe because I'm already on Facebook, I don't know, but I love the forums. There's a lot of information on there. But when it comes down to just talking with the community, I think the Facebook group is really, really cool. I like putting my googly eye buddies on there today. That was pretty sweet. Got instant response to it. Something that on my YouTube set I can keep on there, and it's entertaining and fun. Jeez, there's so much tape on these cells. When I take apart the packs, there's like, I'm taking all the tape off and then cleaning up the top and bottom. I'm still taking tape off. It's crazy. Another thing about the Sanyos, you can tell they don't really trust the Sanyos. There's a lot more extra like insulation between the cells. There's a lot more. They might have like 3 temperature monitors in there. They put a lot more protection on the Sanyo cell packs than they do like the LG packs in the Samsung cells. And I think that has something to do with, you know, reliability. If the Samsung cells were bad, I think you would see more fault protection circuits, more insulation between the cells like you see on the Sanyos. That I have not been impressed with the Sanyos. I've said that before. I'll say it a million times. It's a world of difference between the packs. Don't forget how powerful truck alternators are. You can run some of your stuff off your car time. That's true. I do have my truck. It has a pretty beefy alternator on it. I could run my I actually have a I actually have a 12. This is 12 volt, right? Yeah, 12 volt inverter. It's 800 watts. I might be able to run some stuff off of that, off of my truck. You are right. The thing about the truck is it takes up gas, and my generator uses a lot less gas than my truck does. My truck's a V8, you know. So yeah, it is another option. If the scenario did come up, I could run my generator, I could run my truck. I'd probably just siphon the gas off of my truck and put it in my generator, but it's another option. I'm actually thinking about making, speaking of vehicles, you know, I'm thinking about making probably a set, you know, one for my truck, one for the van. So two jump starter packs. Recently somebody posted on the forums that they use cells to jump start their vehicle. Well, you know, why couldn't I make 2 jump start packs for safety? You know, I have some cells in here that are they're not going to go on my power wall, but you know, they're still, you know, 1600 milliamp hours. I can make a pack of them, and it could jump start my my vehicle. Now, I wouldn't jump start the vehicle. I would hook it up to the battery in parallel, let it balance the battery out, unplug it, then try to start the vehicle. I think that's a good idea. I mean, it give me use for all these cells that are not going to go on the power wall. Yeah, I have a generator. It's a generic generator, but it works. But you know, dragging it out, getting it started. I start it maybe once a year, twice a year, just to see if it starts. You know, make sure it's good. Check all the things on it. Make sure it's still functional. But if I have a battery backup system, then I wouldn't have to use something like that. You know, I could just, boom, instantly utilize the power that I have stored. I think if I did my math right, my first 15S 24P bank will have right around 20 kilowatt hours, if I did my math right. And I say around that because it depends on the average of the cell's capacity and all that. But I'm hoping, if everything goes right and it keeps going on track, that I can have some pretty decent storage even off my first pack. And that would be cool because each pack you add roughly around 20 kilowatt hours or whatever it comes out to. You know, you're just doubling and doubling, and well, not doubling, but doubling the first time, and then after that you're adding. But that adds up quick. my house uses around 50 kilowatt hours a day. I can take, you know, the first let's say the first 10 kilowatt hours off of my bill. That's going to be pretty sweet. I really should have brought something else down to drink. Getting kind of thirsty. May have to open a beer here soon. It's the weekend. Need me a beer. Let's see. I have these cells. Yeah, you can see it in the Opus. Let's see. I got 1849, 1930, 2107. This one hasn't done its discharge cycle. It hasn't completed its discharge cycle. We have 1978, 1995, 2047, 2171, or sorry, 2127, 2057, 2040, 2156, and this one hasn't done its discharge cycle yet, or completed it yet. So these are pretty decent, considering they're so old, 7 years old. Everything in the school district is old until it gets replaced. You know, we usually keep things around for 7 to 10 years. I recently upgraded the network, and that most of the networking equipment that was there was 10 years old. It was so old when we turned the equipment off and we took it back to the shop. I was going through the process of decommissioning some of them. A lot of them won't even turn on. So they were so old that turning them off finally killed them. It was pretty impressive. Yeah, I wouldn't balance the 18650s with the battery in the truck or the van often. I wouldn't use it like that at all. But for a one-time or a two-time emergency, I think that would be fine. But I agree, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't balance them often. I completely agree with that. Most of the battery packs that you buy that jumpstart your car or refresh your battery, they're pretty expensive, and most of them are garbage anyway. Unless you buy a really good one, and then you're going to have a bunch of money into it. I have cells that, you know, I'm not going to use for the power wall. Might as well use them for something. Another thing I'm going to use them for is we have chickens, and we free range them. So I'm going to make the chicken coop solar powered, in the sense of maybe an automatic door opener, maybe a little water heater for in the winter months like this. It'll keep their water warm. Stuff like that. I think that would be kind of cool. Plus, if it cells that I'm not going to use, then that's pretty cool. Holy crap. There we go. These cells get, or at least the wrap gets pretty ate up the way I have to open them. I'm thinking that these will be most likely the ones that I put on the inside of the packs, because I'm going to have you know, my wraps to make the packs look cool. My packs wrapped in electric blue. And then I'll probably have these on the inside where they got a couple of dings on them or whatever, you won't even notice. I mean, the cell itself is not damaged, it's just a matter of I scraped up the wrap on them. Hey, how's it going? DIY Tech and Repairs. I see you liked my photo of my googly eye friends. Hey, soon, and by soon I mean in the upcoming months, I might have a Batrium system. I don't want to spend the money, but I want all the features and I want a good battery management system. Maybe one day I'll be as cool as you and I'll have 3 of them. I see Average Joe, he kind of let the magic smoke out of his. Whoops. That would be very frustrating. Buy a system, you know, finally going to be able to use it, and then you burn it up. That'd be very frustrating. I'm almost done with the cells here, and then I can actually show you guys what I've processed so far. I'm pretty happy with my progress. One day I'll finally get done processing cells, and then that day I'll decide to get more cells and process all of them. Oh, another thing is I'm trying to get 10,000 total views on my channel, and the reason for that is I can finally get a custom URL for my channel. Right now it's just underneath my name and it's kind of boring, but once I get a custom URL for my channel, I'm thinking about you know, creating a couple logos and stuff for my channel and all that. I did add a cool little graphic on the bottom of the screen. I think that's kind of cool, and I put the time down there. My streams are getting better all the time. Dialed in the quality. I got full 1080p going, and that actually it stayed full quality the whole time from what I can tell. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy about that. You have not been able to kill the Batrium so far. That's a good thing. I don't know what the heck he did to burn up his. I don't think he knows what he did to burn up his. I'm not I'm not dissing him. I'm just saying that that's a crazy fluke. he tested all of his wires. The poor guy. I don't know. Hopefully I don't have the same luck. Usually I have pretty bad luck. Hopefully I don't have the same luck. That would make me cry. I would just make a full episode of me crying. At least if I did cry that much, I have a sump pump in my basement. It'll just take my tears, push them outside. All right, down to the last few cells here. Then I can get out the cool stuff. Well, cool stuff as in look at what I've done so far. Give you guys a progress update, not upgrade. All right. Woo! Now that amount of work gives me enough cells to process for 1 week. You guys seen it? It was about 2 hours worth of work. That's not horrible for a week worth of testing. Give me 1 second. Well, a couple seconds. I'm going to go grab all my bins of tested cells and I'll show you what I got so far. Okay, so all these are 2100. I have 1900, 2100. These are 2000, 1900, and then these four right here are not fully completed. Each one of these tubs holds about 40 cells, give or take. So these are 22s. We've got 21s, 20s, and 19. I actually have some 18 and 1700 cells over there, but I'm thinking, and I may be wrong here, go from 1900 to 2200. Because I'd like to all keep them around the same. But I'm doing pretty good. At least I think so. I should be able to make about 3 packs out of these so far. I still have a lot of work to go through, but I'm pretty happy with everything so far. I got my fuses. I have each pack of these are 200, and I bought 10 packs. So I have 2,000 glass fuses. These are 0.5 amps. I have no idea if that will focus on that or not. Hopefully it does. But I have 2,000 fuses. I'll probably order another batch, but I got to start building packs first. But I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the progress. It's the winter months, not much going on, so this is pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna put these back. Um, 19, 20, 21. Woohoo! I did test some of the Sanyos, the white tops. Got 22 out of them. Not too bad. Alright guys, I think I'm going to cut the stream here. I think I showed everything. I got lots of the cell holders ready for packs. I have fuses ready for packs. I have a decent amount of cells. I don't think I want to build packs until I have pretty much a full 15 packs available to build, because I think I want to do 15S, 140p. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Hopefully I can do a live stream every Saturday around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I like doing them. They're quick and easy. I'm doing this stuff anyway, so it's kind of cool to hang out with you guys. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye. So long.